If your boss ever tells you, "We can't lose you right now," you should start looking for a new job immediately. To a nice guy, that sounds like a compliment. In the real world, it's a death sentence for your career. What psychologists call the nice guy syndrome isn't about being kind. It's high agreeableness, high neuroticism, and low core self-evaluations wrapped in a survival mechanism that's killing your potential. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how to stop being the company's emergency rations and start moving like the man who owns the room. It means you're not being developed, you're being used. In a minute, I'll give you one question that makes half of last-minute tasks evaporate. Write it down. It means stay where you are. Keep carrying this. This is the endgame nobody warns nice guys about. You don't get fired. You get stuck. You become the dependable fixer, the human shock absorber for everyone else's chaos. You're the guy who calms the angry client and rewrites the rude email into something professional. You absorb the shock so the room stays calm. You answer messages fast. You fix problems that aren't yours. You stay late with a smile. Then the promotion goes to someone you trained. And you sit there thinking, how? The nice guy story starts with a lie about your personality. Most people think the nice guy is a victim of the system. He isn't. He's the architect of his own cage. And the blueprint was drawn before you even graduated high school. You tell yourself you're nice. You're not. The personality research is blunt. High agreeableness, high neuroticism, low core self-evaluations. You aren't nice. You are emotionally unstable and looking for external validation to feel worthy. And it isn't who you are. It's a survival mechanism that outlived its usefulness. Because your core self-evaluation is low, external validation becomes your only metric of worth. You aren't a good person. You're a validation addict. And your boss is your dealer. If it stings, pay attention. When you fear tension at work, you're not protecting the team. You're managing your own anxiety. You soften everything you say. You apologize for things that aren't your fault. You laugh at jokes that disrespect you. People mistake that for character. It's not. It's a coping strategy. There's a burnout mechanism here that works like muscle fatigue. Pretending to agree with a mediocre boss drains your self-control exactly like a bicep curl drains your arm. Psychologists call this ego depletion. By 2 p.m., you aren't just tired, your brain is fried. You are literally trading your IQ for their approval. First comes the invisible cage. Because you never create friction, you become the quiet infrastructure of the team. Infrastructure is not celebrated, it's used. People notice it when it breaks. This isn't corporate, it's biology. It's what everyone depends on and nobody thanks. In nature, the animal that makes itself useful to the herd without demanding a share gets eaten first when winter hits. You aren't a team player. You're the emergency rations. If you are the guy who makes problems disappear, your boss's brain does the math. If I promote him, I inherit his problems, so they keep you where you are. Because you're too valuable right there. That's why they call you indispensable. Indispensable is the nice word for stuck. The Romans understood this. A slave who was too good at his job was never freed, too expensive to replace. You have turned yourself into a high-value slave. That's the golden cage. Then your mood changes. It feels petty to say out loud, but it's real. You do the work, other people do the talking. You ship the result, someone else ships the story. And the story is what gets promoted. Nice guys react by working harder. They think excellence will force recognition. It won't. Here's the simple version. People don't promote the best worker. They promote the guy who looks like a leader. If you're quiet, they don't think you're grinding. They just think you're there. Stop looking for a fair boss. Fairness is a fairy tale told to children to keep them quiet in the back of the car. Look for an efficient boss. Then make it inefficient for them to keep you where you are. Here's a clean example. Remember when Elon Musk bought Twitter and cut roughly 80% of the company? People screamed. People predicted collapse. But the product stayed alive. Love him or hate him, the rule is the same. Sentiment doesn't matter. Outcomes do. Don't become loud. Become clear. Here's a detail nobody tells you. When you're quiet and competent, people fill the silence with whatever story suits them. They assume you'll handle it. If you want a different role, send a different signal. Be clear once, then consistent. Every time you say, "I'll handle it," You're teaching the room. My time is cheap, my boundaries move, my role is to absorb. Then the resentment starts leaking. It's the white-knuckle grip on your steering wheel at 6 p.m. while you replay the meeting where you said no worries to a project that just killed your weekend. The hum of the tires on the highway is the only time you're allowed to be honest with yourself. You catch a reflection in the rearview mirror and you don't recognize the man looking back. He looks tired. Not from work, from lying to himself. That's not kindness, that's your self-respect leaving your body. It looks like a mental ledger you keep pretending you don't have. What psychologist Robert Glover calls covert contracts, unspoken agreements where you expect reciprocation for sacrifices no one asked for. And the ledger turns into poison because the world does not pay you for sacrifices it did not ask for. Nice guys volunteer their self-respect, then feel betrayed when no one rewards them for it. But the resentment isn't the worst part. You think you're building a reputation. You're actually building a menu. And the hierarchy is hungry. The worst part is the silence of the endgame. The moment you realize the hierarchy has finished its meal and you were the main course. Because nobody promotes a martyr, they promote a leader. Leaders don't operate on unspoken contracts. They negotiate, they set workplace boundaries, they create consequences. Now the endgame. The endgame is quiet. It's you, years later, watching someone else become your manager, then delegating your own work back to you with a smile. It's you realizing your reputation isn't high potential. It's low maintenance. Low maintenance people don't get invested in, they get extracted from. This is career stagnation disguised as stability. That is the nice guy career endgame. You become essential, but not upward. Trusted, but not empowered. You become infrastructure. Infrastructure doesn't get promoted, it gets stepped on until it breaks, then replaced. Infrastructure is what people walk on to get where they're going. Now I am not telling you to become cruel for fun. I'm telling you to grow up about power. Here's the pivot for this channel. Kindness is a luxury for the powerful. Until you have leverage, you don't have the right to be kind. You only have the obligation to be effective. So how do you get out? You stop playing for approval and start playing for position. You see the cage, you see the lock. Now let's talk about the combination. This isn't a personality transplant. It's a new way to play the game. 1. Stop being the good employee. Replace good with effective. Effective people can hold tension without collapsing. 2. Build scarcity on purpose. If you're always available, you are telling everyone your time is free. Creating scarcity is the first move, but it's useless without the nuclear option in step 6. Without that, you're just a loud-mouthed prisoner. Use this question, word for word. I can do that. What should I deprioritize to make room? About half evaporate. It was never important. It was convenient. 3. Stop being invisible. Make your work visible. Brief. No apology. Here's what I shipped. Here's the outcome. Here's what it unblocked. If nobody can see your value, nobody can defend it. 4. Stop negotiating with hints. Stop hinting. Say what you want. Say it like a business transaction. I've been taking on senior level responsibility for the last few months, and I'd like to discuss how my compensation and title will reflect that. 5. Learn controlled conflict. This isn't about being aggressive, it's about assertiveness, a skill that can be learned. You don't need constant confrontation. You need one clean boundary and a cost for crossing it. You don't get respect by asking for it. You get respect by punishing people who cross your lines. 6. Build an exit option. You cannot negotiate powerfully if you cannot leave. When you have no exit, you will tolerate anything. Update your skills. Build a portfolio. Talk to other companies. Get offers. Even if you don't take them, call it what it is. Strategic treason. Your company is loyal to its bottom line. You should be loyal to yours. Anything else isn't virtue. It's professional suicide. Now, the quiet part, said plainly. The workplace is not a family. It's a system of incentives. If you play it with morality alone, you will get harvested by people who play it with strategy. That doesn't mean you become evil. It means you stop being naive. So here's the question. Are you going to keep donating your weekends to people who would replace you in a week? Are you going to keep calling it being a team player while your leverage dies? Or are you going to reclaim your leverage and start moving like a man who can say no? If you're ready to move from people pleaser to leader, comment one sentence: I am reclaiming my leverage. And if you want the next step, the part where we break down the backlash you'll get when you stop being endlessly available, subscribe. Most people panic and crawl back into the cage. Don't. That's the open cage.